All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Entertain a motion for a postponement of 2 weeks without a finding.
Council, the 21st, okay for you? Okay. Second.
All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. You're all
Thank you,
set.
see you in 2 weeks.
Where's Eddie? Where did Eddie? Excuse me. I'm sorry, where's Mike? Is Mike out in the hallway?
I think he is. Mike?
Oh, here he is, okay. Next on the agenda, please.
Commission will now take up the matter of the application for change of manager for the Lowell Lodge of Elks, all alcoholic beverage club licensee at 40 Old Ferry Road, from Richard R. Provencher to Ronald P. Lowe of Hudson, New Hampshire.
Is Ronald Lowe here? Yes. Come up to the mic. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Ronald Lowe. I work down at Lowell Lodge of Elks.
How long have you been associated with the?
I've been a member for 30-something years. I've been working there as a bartender, the day bartender for 15.
Okay.
I used to work nights too, but
Used to work where?
used to work nights at the bar.
At the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever managed a bar? Have you ever been the actual manager of a club or a bar?
No, I've been
No.
managing down there for 15 months now. You know, taking care of all the banks, the liquor, the parties. Well, we have the parties rented through, Lindsay, but they go through us too.
Okay, well, the only one thing I want to bring out to you right off the top, we had sent out a notice to Richard Provencher to appear before this board, and he did not appear.
Yeah.
Okay, and in the spirit of cooperation, because we knew that it was a inter-elks, the horseshoe
Yes.
tournament, we granted the license. And we asked him to appear after, and he did not appear. I'm not going to hold that against you, but I call it to your attention because that won't happen
There's going to
again.
be a change.
That's kind of the reason why we're going this route, because I'm there from 8:30 in the morning until 6, sometimes later. But they had a way they wanted to do it. They wanted to put every Exalta ruler in, which I thought was a silly way to do it, because every year you got to go through this. But he never even said anything to us that he'd gotten a call. I haven't even seen him in about, he comes in at night for bingo
Okay.
and stuff, but that's kind of the reason why we're going this route, because I'm basically there all the time, other than Sundays. There in the morning, but
Okay,
it's like
but
2
living
hours.
living in Hudson, New Hampshire, you have to understand, you are the manager 24/7.
Yeah,
24/7, you are the manager.
yeah,
Okay, you just made a statement a couple of seconds ago about you've been kind of managing it the last 15 months. What you have to understand is you are the manager. You can't give that authority to somebody else.
no, I understand.
Something goes wrong, you have to make sure
If-
that they know they call you immediately.
do.
Probably right after they call the police department, if that's, God forbid if that should happen, but,
Yeah,
okay?
yes, I understand.
Sergeant Trudell, have we had any...
Everything's in order, Mr. Chairman.
Okay? Commissioner Figueroa.
Couldn't vote against anyone who was born at the Shaw Hospital.
That's right, I was.
How many other people there when you were born, do you know? How many other babies?
Well, there were 7 kids in my family. I was the only one. I was the last of the 7, so I was born there. But
Do you know where the Shaw Hospital was?
Yeah,
Shut hand over street.
gone condo.
that's why I was lucky enough to get a job at Shaw's Farm, I guess, too. So just keep it in order.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say yes.
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 I looked at that.
Thank you, sir.
Now
Appreciate it.
this,
I've never seen that before.
you're still not the manager,
I know.
okay?
Yeah.
And I don't know how you're working this out with Richard or whatever's going on, and I really don't want you to elaborate. All I want you to know is that in the interim, somebody's got to keep an eye on things until this goes to Boston and comes back
I understand.
and clears you, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I looked at that house when I was looking at houses.
Next on the agenda.
Commission will now take up the matter of an application for entertainment for live music disc jockey jukebox for calendar year 2007. This being a restaurant, Bombay Mahal Restaurant, Inc., the malt beverage and wine restaurant licensee. Ali Nagpuria is the manager of record. Premises at 4345 Middle Street.
Okay. Introduce yourself for the record. Your name?
My name is Allah Rakun Nagpuria, and business is a Bombay Mahal.
Okay. They already have their liquor license.
Yeah.
They're just looking now for a jukebox dish.
Right, Bombay Mahal has been at 43 Middle Street for
How long?
10, 15, 20 years possibly.
That long? You don't look
Almost
that
like
old.
16 years.
16 years?
16 years, okay. How many times have you had to go there, Sergeant Trudell? That's exactly the right answer. That's the answer we like to hear. Any questions?
None to me.
Commissioner, any questions, Commissioner?
Just, I don't have an issue with it. You just gotta kinda remember that it's music, and you are in a residential area.
I know, sir. We know that.
The city plan is made of the residential area down
Yeah.
there, so understand that.
We know that.
Understand that, and you have neighbors that are there.
Yeah, we did number of times, but we don't have
Alright.
any complaint, sir.
Good.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
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 Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Lewis Lee is here to appear on the matter of,
Excuse me, Ron, excuse me. Right now.
Mr. Chairman, Lewis Lee is the manager for the Costa Verde Corp., doing business as La Pradera. It's an all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee at 1717 Middlesex Street, Units 6 and 7. That being the second floor of the building. Soon after, sometime in the middle of October, we received a copy of a police incident report of possible overcrowding at the establishment La Pradera. It was a nighttime activity, and it involved underage patrons. Mr. Lee is here now to answer to the concern we have of that matter.
Okay. Introduce yourself for the record, sir.
Hi, my name is Louis Lee, and the manager is La Pradera Bar and Grill.
Okay. We had talked about this, Sergeant Trudeau. There had been some kind of a breakdown, and they had called up the fire department. Did we ever resolve what happened there?
I don't think so. I believe you sent a letter to the fire department requesting why they did not respond after the police asked them to respond, and your commission was going to address that at a later date. On this occasion, the police officers responded, and they found the location to be what they believed to be overcrowded, and that's why they initiated the action to your commission.
Okay, and as far as they were cooperative?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
They were, okay. So this is actually his second offense of overcrowding?
Oh,
There's one.
No, I believe there was only one that was
It was
supplied
just
by
the
the Lowell
one.
police.
Okay.
I don't know if the fire department filed any action
No,
against them.
because we didn't hear on that. We did send a letter, didn't we?
Mr. Chairman, this matter first came up to your attention at our meeting October 19th.
Okay,
At that point, it was decided to communicate to the fire chief and to the Office for Inspectional Services, at which point, subsequent to that, there was a written response from the Dave St. Hilaire, the Acting Commissioner of Inspectional Services, essentially acknowledging the fact that there is a maximum occupancy for the building of those premises of 200, and based on the report from the Lowell Police at that time, it appeared that there were possibly as many as 300 patrons on the premises. Fire department did not respond to a call to that matter at that time. There's been no communication from the fire department on the matter. Nonetheless, the matter, to have Mr. Lee before you in a matter to do with presumably a non-disciplinary type of forum, but just to give him opportunity to answer to the situation.
Do you have a doorman?
We have 3 doormen at the
You have 3.
3.
Can they
and
count?
We rent the place to a second party. We was no, we're not running
Sorry,
it.
what?
We rent the establishment to us, another person.
That doesn't make any difference. You're responsible for
Right.
it.
And who was there from your company that night?
I was there, and we had 3 security guard, people. And when the police came, we already closed the door at that time because, well, the way the young people act in a club is different than the elders. They stand around the dancing place. When I realized that there was too many, I approached the lady who was supposed to count how many people were in there, and she said that she didn't. So that's why I told the staff, the security staff, to close the door. At that time, more people were coming. That's why the police came, because people were outside.
Okay, but let me tell you how it works, okay?
Sure.
It's your establishment,
I know.
okay? You get somebody at the door that can count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They hit 200, that's it. The door's closed. Others want to come in, they wait outside till somebody leaves. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right, I gave it the lady the
That's,
counter.
no, that's
I know.
your responsibility. That's your responsibility. It's your building. You're renting it out. You set the rules. You set up the rules. You say to them, this is what you can do. And if it means that you have to make them hire somebody to work for you, to be at the door, to count, then you do that. Because that's totally, if there had been a fire, and you're not coming in here saying, gee, I rented it out, I'm sorry, all these people got hurt.
I understand.
Because that's not going to happen, okay? Because long before we ever get to that point, it's going to be closed. Everybody thinks, well, it's not, I let the other one just... It has nothing to do with it. It's still your place. And when you rent it out, you should have an agreement that says no more than 200 people. And if it was my building, I'd want some of my people there to protect my building. So one of my people would be at the door counting the people coming in. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand perfectly.
And they close the door when it hits 200. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay? Mike?
Just had a quick question in terms of how many 18 to 20-year-old parties are you having up there?
Excuse me?
How many times do you have the 18 to 21-year-old
That was
parties?
the second.
Second one?
Yeah.
You
With
still-
the same people.
Yeah. You still doing it?
No. That's it. I haven't done any. I don't
Smart
think to do
man,
any.
because, I'm not gonna tell you how to run your business, but most bars that are closed in the city, it all starts with, they start having 18 to 21-year-old parties, and, not worth it. It's just not worth it.
I
I'm not gonna
understand
tell you how to run your business, but I've sit here for a long time, and that's the road to nowhere. So, I'm glad to hear that you're not doing it anymore.
Sir, what does your occupancy permit say?
200 people.
It says 200?
Now, yeah, we used to have 324, but after what happened in Rhode Island, they reduced the capacity to 200.
It got adjusted to 200?
Right.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay? Anybody?
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Put it on
Make a
file.
motion, put the report on file?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to put the report on file.
Motion made to put the report on file.
We just
And-
put the report in your file. Okay, we're not taking any disciplinary action against you. There's no punishment or anything else. We just want you to be aware of being careful with the occupancy, being careful with what Commissioner Geary talked to you about in terms of the 18 to 21-year-old parties, and just making sure that you're in charge of the club, not anybody else. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay?
All right.
All right,
that.
motion made to place it at the report on file, seconded, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Next on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, the Commission will now open the hearing on a matter to do with the decision of the Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission on an appeal of the License Commission action to modify the liquor license of the licensee Dorama LLC, doing business as Rumba's Nightclub, Felix Pino manager, premises at 727476 Merrimack Street. Mr. Chairman, as far as communications on this particular agenda, the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission forwarded a communication that the License Commission Office had received on December 4th, 2006. That decision of the ABC is December 1st, 2006. There wasn't a hearing before the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission on Wednesday, November 29th, and subsequent to the testimony presented before the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission, the finding of the board was to remand the decision back to the License Commission for consideration. The action of the License Commission took place on Thursday, November 2nd, at which point, for cause, the licensee was to curtail its business activities for the third floor of the premises, which is known as Rumba's Nightclub, starting Thursday, November 16th, 17th, and 18th, and continue in that manner for 6 consecutive weeks. That modification of license where the licensed premises would be closed is still in effect. It's now before you to consider whether you would accept the decision of the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission or some other decision.
Mr. Chairman, before we go any further, I think I have to step down. I don't think I sat in the original hearing. Is that correct, Ryan? Sure I didn't.
I believe so. Yes, I believe that's correct.
You're excused. Thank you. All right. Mr. Secretary, before we get into this, I would like to have you skip to, I know that we have a communication on file. In regards to this nightclub. And I'd like, if you don't mind, if you could read that communication. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna kind of do a 2-for-1 here. I understand that the board in Boston wants us to accept the penalty as time served. And so time served would mean that they have served 3 weekends of the 6. Of course, the people in Boston are down there in their Primrose Castle, and we're up here. We're not going to have another situation here in the city. So before I go any further on this, I'd like you to read this letter, if you don't mind, from Peter Padula. Peter, are you here? Thank you, Peter. Why don't you folks sit down for a moment,
Do we
please?
have a copy of the letter for council?
Do we have a copy of the letter to this, for this gentleman?
I have a fax copy.
You got a copy?
Got a copy, okay.
Email communication? Is that what you're referring to? I have a copy.
Okay. Peter, if you would.
Give me a copy.
Do you want me to read his
Yes, I
communication?
would, if you don't mind.
Mr. Chairman, through the Office of Neighborhood Services, I received a forwarded email from the city manager, who had received an email from a gentleman by the name of, who is present here before us, Peter Padula. He resides at 33 Middle Street, and he addresses the manager, "Dear Bernie, my name is Pete Padula. You may or may not know me, but I work with Matt Scott of Chelmsford Telemedia. I am the guy who usually directs Tom Cristano's show, where you've been a guest many times. I hope your new post as Lowell City Manager is going well for you. I'm writing with a Lowell issue, one that I hope is not too small for your busy schedule. About 3 years ago, I bought a loft in the Mall of Lofts, 33 Middle Street, Unit 12, in the downtown area. I've had it rented for 2.5 years until 1 month ago. I'm finally in a position to move in, Also, I recently became a trustee of the condo association. I'm quite excited about becoming a part of the Lowell community. I discovered, however, that on Thursday to Saturday nights from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m., the nightclub at 76 Merrimack Street, known as Club Roomba, I believe, produces a thunderous noise. They are across the alleyway from our building. This club opened sometime in the fall of 2005. I realize this is a mixed-use district and that some noise just comes with the territory of city living. But the noise from Club Roomba is so intense that the owners of the unit next to mine, Mahler's Unit 11, put their property up for sale for this very reason. Their unit is still on the market. I'm fearful this nightclub is adversely affecting our property values. Also, I find it regrettable that it has driven 2 new downtown residents to leave Lowell. Additionally, it's making me wonder if I can live in the apartment I own under the current conditions. I'm not sure, but I do believe this nightclub is not totally legal. I think they are exceeding neighborhood sound levels. Plus, it is on the 3rd floor, which seems an unsafe place for such an establishment. Additionally, there are no back exits, conjuring up images of the Station nightclub disaster in Rhode Island. If the club could simply be brought up to code, including soundproofing from the inside, then I think we could and should happily coexist. That is my hope. Can you point me in the right direction to start to mitigate this situation? Sincerely, Peter D. Padula, owner 33 Middle Street, Unit 12, Lowell, Mass.
Peter, I want to thank you for the letter.
You're welcome.
It's important. I want you, and, it's important that people let us know what's going on. And you are at the right place, and I just wanted the letter read in because, so all too often, decisions are made by this board, and people looking at them, they just have no idea. So I want to use you, if I may, to illustrate to the public that things can get done. That being said, thank you, and I would ask the people from council and Phillies, if you come back up to the lectern, please.
Now, Ryan, this letter was addressed to the city manager, and
Yes.
he referred it to you.
Refer it to us.
It was referred to the neighborhood services by the city manager, who was in turn forwarded to me.
You got a copy of it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is John Gallant. I represent Dolomar LLC, DBA Rumbus Nightclub. Which issue would you like to me address first?
Any way you want to go at it.
I'm
Whichever
not
you'd
sure
like.
the issue that you just addressed, namely the email communication, is an issue that is really before the commission today in terms of any action, but I'm more than happy to respond to it. I provided him with a copy of a letter. I have a copy for the commission.
Council, if you want to address it now, I will. If you want to put it on for another date, we'll do that, too. Well, so we're going to talk about it now.
Yeah.
We're here really today on the ABCC's decision and my discussion with council following the hearing of the ABCC for action for reinstatement of a license today. I received a copy of an email, but no indication was indicated to me that we're going to have a hearing on that issue today. But nevertheless, maybe we'll postpone that to a different day, but I'll at least address it for you. The first time we received this communication was in a fax several days ago, where I addressed it with my client, and I've addressed the letter to you. My client wasn't aware of his complaint for noise. I guess he sent it over a month ago, approximately November. And in between that time, not knowing of his noise complaint, my client actually has taken steps inside the club to soundproof it and substantially reduce any noise levels that are there. I can note out to the commission that the commission just issued an entertainment license to a gentleman which is on his same street, which is probably going to provide him a lot more noise than my client's club will be, which is down the street on Merrimack Street. But notwithstanding that, we didn't address his concerns before the commission a few minutes ago when he issued an entertainment license to the gentleman that's really right next door to him.
I believe I did address the concerns. I told them it was in a residential area.
You did, but it's the same issue, and that's
a
really...
jukebox.
But
It's
it
a
isn't the
jukebox,
same.
too.
You know, first of all, Counselor,
not a
two
nightclub.
wrongs don't make a right, okay? Secondly,
nightclub.
that guy has
say that.
never, ever had a complaint against him. This guy we have had in here before, okay?
And it's not a
This-
nightclub.
This
There's never been
gentleman,
an
this
entertainment
gentleman,
license there.
excuse me, this gentleman that was in here before, the best words out of anybody's mouth is Sergeant Trudell's, "I don't know the guy." When he says, "I don't know the man," that means the police department has never been there. This gentleman is well known to us. We rolled back his hours to try to calm things down. We tried to warn him at the time when he took it over that was a problem spot, that there were problems there.
We understand that there were difficulties in the past regarding prior establishments.
Right.
I'm also aware of the commission of my client before the board. There has never been an indication before the board of any violence for my club, of any indication of assault and battery before the club, and the findings that this commission made on November 2nd were overturned by the ABCC, establishing that there were no violations of either statute regarding the incidents that happened. So the only thing that my clients have done since the inception of their club and the giving of this license for the past year is a prior license hearing before the board where they were letting females have a different cover charge than males and indicated that he took care of that. And what was the second matter? The second matter was a similar type administrative offense. But other than that, there's been no indication in this nightclub of any noise problems, of any violence, of any activity whatsoever. And we had a full hearing before the ABCC where they recommended that the suspension that in place for the incidents that took place on the two dates in question regarding the November 2nd hearing be limited to 2 suspensions. At the time of the hearing, only 2 had taken place. Since then, an actual third suspension or a third weekend has taken place. So, I mean, I was really here to address that, to indicate to the board, but I received a copy of the email, and I wanted to assure Mr. Padula, or at least inform him that since his letter and, well, the pendency of his letter, the club has actually inputted efforts to install some soundproofing, and we're pretty confident that should alleviate his concerns. Part of the difficulty probably was that during the summer months, during some of the hot days, the windows were open, probably during the Friday night evenings when the entertainment sessions were there, which would have given him some reason to hear a louder noise coming from the nightclub than obviously would take place now. But in addition to that, he's improved some soundproofing methods along the windows, upstairs, and the doors, which should substantially decrease the noise level. So you shouldn't, hopefully this will alleviate his concerns, and you shouldn't hear noise from the nightclub down his establishment in the residential area on Middle Street.
Just one, you said that you had sent notice in November to the, did you send notice to the establishment?
I did not.
Okay,
No, we had no idea about it.
okay, all right.
They had received various complaints from other tenants by phone. I think the people that moved out had called
Okay.
Mr. Pena.
All right, prior, all right, okay,
Over the last year.
all right,
Okay?
all right. So what,
I'm not aware of
is it fully soundproof on the 3rd floor, is that?
It's been, there's been soundproofing efforts. I'm not sure what fully soundproof means, but there've been soundproofing methods in, the windows have been closed and sealed, and there's been some soundproofing methods around the windows to substantially reduce any noise. And as I put in my letter, we're pretty confident that there's no more noise that'll emanate from this nightclub than any other club in the area. I mean, there's obviously entertainment in there. so
I
there'll be
can
some noise.
guarantee you there's more noise out of that nightclub than it's out of the club that we just gave a jukebox to.
You may be right.
I can guarantee it.
The jukebox license hasn't, well, I mean, I guarantee, you can guarantee me that the license he just issued of the jukebox next door to his place will give less noise than my client down the street?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a nightclub, council. It's just two different
The license
entities.
you just issued was right next to his establishment. Mine's
I know
down the
that, it was a
street.
license for a jukebox.
I don't know if I'd make that statement.
This is
I
not,
have full confidence in the statement I just made. And I think
Okay.
that the homeowner would agree with me.
Well, it's apples and oranges. It's a little restaurant, and also it doesn't abut any residents.
yeah, you should start, we gotta kind of, we don't wanna have a free-for-all, okay? Listen, I appreciate it. The only thing I'm gonna ask is the next time you speak, step up to the mic. I'm gonna stop for a second, if it'd be okay. And I would like to ask Sergeant Trudell for his input.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Commissioner, I was present at the ABCC hearing in Boston, and at that time, the commission down there did not want to hear any testimony about infractions that occurred outside the licensed premises on Merrimack Street, on John Street. Council represented to the commission down there that he did not believe that the occurrences outside the licensed establishment should pertain to their license. Is that correct, Council?
No, that's incorrect. The board determined that that indications that infractions take place on the street are not a subject of the ABCC's or this commission's jurisdiction in terms of revocation of his license. That's what the board determined.
That's exactly
And the
what
testimony of the officers in question were that nothing took place in the nightclub that evening, which was no violation of either statute was found.
I recall the testimony to which kind of struck me as integral in the whole thing was that the doorman or the person that was testifying here on behalf of Mr. Pino said that there was a problem that was outside and he let the people in. There was an incident that would happen right in front of him, and he let the people into the club after. So, I mean,
That's not correct.
that's correct. I heard it.
But that's what he testified
That's
here.
what he testified
People
to.
drove in the parking lot, and, excuse me, people drove in the parking lot and got in a fight over one parking place. Counselor, I'm telling you, I sat here and listened to it.
Testified to
I watched
and
the
he
tape.
testified
I watched
to
the
it.
tape. I watched the tape as well.
Well, then you missed a part of the tape. You
No,
must
I
have got
didn't.
the Nixon
He
tape.
testified consistently at the ABCC, Mr. Chairman. He said that when the individuals pulled up to the nightclub, that there was a dispute outside regarding the parking spot. There was no fight. There was no altercation. They had a discussion outside.
Discussion.
They had a discussion outside about the
And
parking
he still
space.
let him in
Let
the
him in.
building.
He let him in the building,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Excuse me.
Mr. Chairman, when Mr. Pino had a licensed establishment back in the early 90s, there were problems at that establishment. Now he has a licensed establishment in 2006. If an illegality or disturbance occurs outside of his premises, I know your commission is going to hold this bar responsible. They are responsible. I don't care what the ABCC indicates down in Boston. We have to take steps to make sure there's no disorder in the street, and your commission is doing the right thing.
Yeah, I think maybe the ABC's, how they differ on it is, like, listen, if they had something outside before they got in the bar, it wouldn't be any in our purview.
Right.
I'm kind of in agreement there, but if they're in the bar, then they're spilling out to the street and something happens in front of the bar, then obviously it's under control of the bar. I mean, I think that's,
Well, that's your opinion, Colin. You're entitled to it, and we can sit here and argue, but guess what? We control the license.
I understand
okay?
that, Mr. Commissioner,
That's the
Mr.
simple
Chairman.
part. So we
The
don't need to
testimony
argue
was-
about it.
The testimony was that the issues that took place, those two incidents, were outside the bar after any incident.
so they didn't hear
After any
anything on that,
incident.
they just heard the stuff that.
No,
They
they
did
heard
find a
all-
violation though, right?
They found that my client's only violation was failure to notify the police regarding what happened outside in the street. And as a result of that.
That kind of strikes me as kind of odd, though. If they say, that the ABC saying they don't care what's happening outside the street, yet they find him a violation for not calling up about what happened outside the street? You know what I'm saying?
And that's Sergeant Trudell's testimony. They didn't say they didn't care about what happens outside the street. They're looking specifically with regard to what the statute is and what a violation of the statute is. There's no indication, there was no testimony that there was any over-serving of any intoxicated persons that evening. There was no indication, no testimony that any altercation or fight or illegality under the statute took place in the bar that evening or in the nightclub that evening. All of the issues took place down the street or around the corner down on Middlesex Street when the police arrived. No, the police never asked any of the individuals whether they were in the nightclub, whether they were served in the nightclub. I'm sorry.
Okay, so why would the ABC say, okay, you didn't call the police on violations on something that happened?
ABCC indicated that there was testimony that both parties admitted that my client didn't call the police regarding the fight within the street. That's what took place. That's the only indication.
There was testimony about an altercation inside the licensed premises, and I believe that council is neglecting to bring that up, and that's what the commission ruled on. They found them in violation of that.
All right, I'm not going to rehash ABCC. I
Right.
just want to get a grasp of what they're saying here, and I guess the last paragraph is the most pertinent, saying there was a violation found, not all of them were found, but.
Absolutely. And my client, as a result, has lost his license for 2 consecutive weekends before the hearing and now another one afterwards. So for 3
originally,
consecutive
I
weekends
think it
during
was
the
6.
holidays.
6. They served half of it.
So we served half
Okay.
of the suspension that was issued by this commission. And again, as indicated from, I've spoken to counsel in this matter. It was my indication tonight that his recommendation to the commission was going to be that the license be reinstated.
If
if asked, in trying to resolve the matter, I did say based on the lights, but obviously it is up to the commission's discretion.
Right. The easy way out of this, and the reason why I wanted that letter read. I'm sorry, I have laryngitis, and the easy way out of this, and the reason I wanted the letter read, put this gentleman on notice, okay? It seems like there's an accumulation of things, okay? It seems that for some reason, some of these hot spots in the city just seem to attract the wrong crowd. We can stand here and argue that once they're out of the building, they're out of the building. They're not my problem. Well, you might think that way, your client might think that way, but I'm here to tell you I don't think that way, okay? You can't put people out on the street that have had too much to drink. You can't, why, when his doorman testified about the parking place and everything, myself, Commissioner Gary, we were all shocked over the fact that, I mean, he testified to the fact that they got into an argument and that they got pretty, upset about it. And despite that, he let them in the club together. I mean, it's just, okay, I want this gentleman to know, I'm going to take the easy way out. I'm going to take the easy way out. And I'm going to say to you that I'm going to accept, I'm going to make a motion to accept the recommendation of the ABCC.
Listen, I don't disagree.
Counselor.
I don't disagree with what you just said, and I want to indicate that. And my client is here, and that's why I submitted the letter to the commission this evening. I'm now involved with regard to representation of this nightclub. So if there's any issues that come up, there's any disturbances, and I'll speak to Mr. Badula as well afterwards, because I've introduced myself to him, I'm more than happy to address them so they don't get to this commission, or that we address them beforehand.
And
the
I hope
issues
we
regarding
don't-
the violence of this club, I think you'll find that the management of this club, and I hope you'll find in the future that you won't have any further difficulties with regard to this establishment, because he's making every effort to make sure that these type of incidents don't happen. I understand there was a history of violence prior to my client taking over this license at different establishments. I don't think that's been the case. My review of the history indicates that I don't think that's the case. So I appreciate that, but I just want to let you know I'm not trying, although it's, I'm being an advocate for my client here this afternoon. Our position is that we're willing, and I indicate that in the letter, that we'll cooperate with the commission, take whatever reasonable steps we think appropriate to alleviate the neighbors as well as the commission's concerns, that whatever they may be.
Mr. Chairman, this might be a good time, I don't know if you want to address it today, but I think in the future, there's so many bars and nightclubs downtown, and a lot of them they house a couple, 200, 300, 400 people on any given night. It might be a good time to think about maybe staggering the closing times of these licensed establishments, just so we don't have the people pouring out on the streets, and make it a lot easier for the police personnel to disperse from the downtown area, and if there is a problem, to be able to spread out the police personnel to quell the disturbance.
The problem with that is, who do you penalize? And you know that as well as I do. If you try to
I don't
stagger
consider
the
it a penalization. I think maybe if we have a plan, maybe we should think about it. It might be for a discussion for another day,
Yeah.
but I think it should be addressed at some point.
Okay.
I think originally we were looking for 4 weeks on this, and then I think I bumped it up to 6.
Yeah, that's right. It's okay.
And to me, it's just, if he doesn't get the idea about it now, then he's never going to get the idea about it.
Exactly.
So maybe we go along with the recommendation of the ABCC, although I'm not really in total agreement with them. I'd probably like to see it maybe curled back for this weekend coming up, and then fully in for the following time. If we could do something along those lines, because originally it was a 4-week suspension, and I altered that. I persuaded the commission to make it 6, and I'm willing to scale down that to 4 and scale down the hours at that point. It's something that you can talk to your client about, and maybe we can resolve it today. 12 o'clock.
Can we talk about them right now?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Just give me a minute.
In terms of the noise element, it's a residential neighborhood. I mean, like I told the other person there, you gotta get along, and it's gonna be more on the licensed establishments to do something than it is gonna be on the residents. That's just a fact of life.
We
because-
understand that, and I think he's
Yeah,
taking...
and like I said, I think it's in his best interest to soundproof it and, you know, try to resolve everything that way, you know? So,
give me a
have a
minute.
discussion.
Yep. Okay, can we move over to, while we're waiting, or do you want to wait for them?
Well, okay. We need to bring back
Oh, we need to
Commissioner
bring- yeah.
Finnegan,
Yeah, let me
and I
Yeah,
don't know if you
okay.
want to, we can,
All right. Okay, no, we don't need, I can say hi to Benjamin.
It's agreeable with my client if you curtail the license to close her at midnight for this weekend?
Sure.
And then back to the original time after that?
That's fine.
That's
I
fine.
mean, I'll make that motion for this weekend to 12 o'clock, and following that, the suspension will end and back to a regular license.
Okay, I'll second it. All in favor, say yes.
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 Thank you.
Okay, Counselor,
I'm sorry.
don't come back.
We won't be back.
Good.
Okay, I would like to, what's the next thing on the agenda, Mr. Secretary, I'm sorry?
Finnegan back,
Eddie.
Commissioner?
Oh, yeah,
Eddie's back.
sorry.
Did you see Wallace say hello to his grandson on TV, Eddie?
You see that, Ed? You see me say hi to Benjamin? No, I missed it. Oh, gee. Have
Good
to,
thing they replay the meetings.
this is true.
This, I think Sergeant Trudell wants to bring in a subject. There is
Yeah.
another matter to be dealt with, but it's going to be involved, and I don't know if Sergeant Trudell wants to proceed with something
Yeah.
more pressing and...
Yeah,
Sergeant Trudeau.
I'd like to bring forward the communication from Chief Ken LaValle in regards to Captain John's at 333 Westford Street. I think what's occurred up there is of such a nature that immediate action has to be taken by your commission, and I think you agree on this. What has happened in the past couple of days has been a manslaughter, and also there's been a hindering of a police investigation by Maria Cosmobolis that we are alleging in the complaint. In the past, Maria and the owner, Nick Cosmobolis, have appeared before your commission. In 2000, I believe it was 2002, and at that time, your commission indicated that they did not want Maria to be in the premises on a day-to-day acting as a manager. That appears to be in violation. She's appeared to have violated that order by your commission. I think we need to have an emergency hearing on this within the next 2 or 3 days, and I'm asking for next Wednesday if at all possible. We can make the appropriate notices to the licensed establishment and to their counsel. We can hand deliver any letters that your commission may deem.
gonna have to be Thursday for me.
Yeah, Thursday for me too, so next week's fine.
Thursday.
I can't do it Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, so Thursday's
All
fine.
right. And make a motion that we have a
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday's
Thursday.
okay?
Thursday.
The 14th.
The 14th. Okay. Somebody make a motion for a meeting?
Make a motion for a special meeting on the 14th, December 14th.
Specifically for this matter.
In the matter of the letter of complaint brought by the police with respect to December 6th incident at Captain John's.
And at what time?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock?
3 o'clock? 3?
Okay, yeah.
All right. 3.
And I'd also, well, when I make this by way of discussion before we incorporate it in the motion, I think we probably should subpoena both cousin Boluses, as opposed to trusting to chance that they're gonna show up. And that certainly would be the choice if we didn't subpoena them. But I'd like to have them here to find out their explanation as to what they did or didn't do, what their cooperation was or wasn't. And at the same time, I'd like to perhaps have a letter delivered to them that this matter will be held on that day, and that it would be extremely unlikely for this commission to grant any continuances with respect to this matter.
Can you notify the police officers involved?
I will confer with the district attorney's office on what police officers might offer testimony prior to me notifying them.
Okay. Can, right. Can you get the subpoena for the two of them?
I will look into the vehicle to get them here on that day through subpoena. Also,
Okay.
probably when you serve the letter, I would give them a copy of the police reports, so that they will have everything that, you know,
Okay.
to go forward on Thursday, they'll have everything. It won't be a position of, oh, they want, you know, X, Y, or Z. It's,
Okay.
this is what you have. Be prepared to go forward on that date.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
Second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that takes care of that. Next on the agenda.
Can I just go back to
Yeah.
the Jim? You want me to prepare the notice, which I had already prepared one notice, but it'll have to be amended. When do you want to have it ready? Huh?
I will make all the deliveries.
Oh, okay, first thing in the morning?
Call me up.
Okay.
And just so the commission's aware, looking into this today, that any rollback of the hours is separate and distinct from disciplinary action. To do a rollback, you need to give 14 days notice. However, there is no such requirement for revocation or suspension. So on the 7th, the issue would be suspension, modification, revocation, but it wouldn't be addressing
On the
rolling back.
14th.
On the 14th, it would not be addressing rolling back the hours.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So be it.
Okay.
Okay.
Did we vote on that?
We did.
Yeah, we did, okay. Next on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, in November, by state law, in accordance with Chapter 138, Section 16A of the General Laws of Massachusetts, local licensing authorities have to deal with the renewal applications of current licensees for the sale and service of alcohol beverages, either for the consumption on the premises or for sale off the premises. I prepared a list of all of the licensees and those that have filed their renewals in a timely manner. But I have singled out a good number of them, half a dozen or more, less than 10, for particular cause, and that I need to bring to your attention. We can go into in-depth discussion on these various ones, or we can proceed with this matter in such a way that I would communicate to the licensees by letter.
What does it mean, poker machine in storage? They're not using it?
They never come, they never, nobody.
There are 3 clubs in the city of Lowell that had been granted licenses. All of the clubs in our city have, except for 2, and I'm talking clubs being the members and guest type club, not the nightclubs like Roombas, but those that are Chapter 180 organizations.
Okay.
19 of the 21 licensed in our city have poker machines. 3 of those clubs, for a matter to do with something I cannot speak of publicly, have had reason to put them in storage. And the question is, if they are not to pay the license fee, as they have been accustomed to paying, does the commission want to cancel out those licenses outright and deal with?
Should we move to executive session?
No, you can't. There's not a cause for that.
Okay.
No executive session on this matter, Mr. Chairman.
Well,
This situation is basically their own doing, and this goes back years ago. There's a history to this whole situation, and they're finding themselves now they're between a rock and a hard place. And they can't do anything about it. It's out of their control. And we're in a position where I just need to know whether you want me to be issuing licenses, or if they tell me they don't want to pay for the fee for the licenses,
I think that's what you should do, leave it with them.
well, then that's up to them. But right now, they're not using those devices at all. They can't. They've been told not to use them, not by our local police
Well, it
either.
just seems awful funny that there are 3 Polish clubs.
There's a history to that, and it's of their own doing.
Okay. I think that the choice of whether they want to pay for the license or not should be left up to them.
Okay.
Notify them in writing and tell them, the license is due if they don't want to pay for it.
Okay. Next one is Captain John's, the matter to do with their renewal. That may be a situation you may
That'll be
wish to
resolved
address.
next week.
You can address at a later date. Going next to Chuck E. Cheese, I have been told by the company representative that Mr. Stephen Hatch, who is known to be the manager of record, is no longer employed with Chuck E. Cheese. You may want to consider not renewing their license until they have cause to file for a new change of manager. This is not the first time.
Now, that's the problem with all of these corporate.
Hard for these places to keep
Yeah.
people.
And there's nothing that's been filed with this office, the License Commission office, for change of manager to this point in time.
Well, why don't we tell them, listen, you got a renewal coming up, get us an application.
Send 'em a letter.
Manager,
So you'll hold up on any,
Yeah.
all right. Going down to the next page, 7 of 8, Middle Street Village, Inc. is for a license at 92 Middle Street. Alan Kaplan is the manager.
They're out of business.
Is not
Yeah.
open for business, the
Cancel
license
it.
has not been issued.
Okay.
Do we want to have them come before you to answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Giovanni's Restaurant, Inc. claims that he does not want the license. He's a beer and wine restaurant licensee at 1258 Gorham Street, but I think we should formally send him communication. Richard Berry, Inc., the seasoned chef at 491 Dutton Street. He called this afternoon. He doesn't intend to take the license, but again, he didn't have it this year either. It's the developer, apparently there's still an ongoing issue with the developer at that location. This is the American Textile History Museum. So Mr. Berry, Dick Berry operates like a cafeteria type, but he has had no need for the liquor license. And he claims he won't need it next year, at least under the circumstances. It's, on the following page, all of that.
You're going to notify them in writing.
Yeah, all of that and more. This is a gentleman has the retail store at 167 Market Street, Matt Mason. He has a beer and wine retail license. He tells me though he did file a renewal, he's telling me that he intends to not take that license, but he hopes to apply for a beer and wine restaurant license. So,
And that location?
at the same location. He has a license for common bit, or he is operating a sort of a restaurant sandwich shop.
Yeah.
And he has tables and chairs. He had been granted a beer and wine retail license. He claims that he does not want that. He can't have the two. He can only have one or the other.
Yeah.
And
Does he have glasses and dishes?
last but, well, actually, two more. The next one is Nom Pan Restaurant Corporation at 309 Westwood Street.
Cancel it, send him a letter.
They have not, they've signed the renewal, but I'm not sure what the status is on their having the license to be issued. And last but not least, Hookslide Kelly's. The reason I bring that out is because there is a room to the premises that I noticed has advertisement on it. It shows that there is another business going in there, and that is part of their licensed premises. And there's been no indication from them that they have any, that they would want to have that part of the premises to be removed from their description.
Send him a letter.
See what's going on.
They say it's really nice.
But see, what they maintain is what was known as the Foxtail.
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
That building from front to back to
Yeah.
Page Street. There is a room off to the side, I believe it
Right.
used to be the Hallmark card store, right adjacent to it.
That's part of it, yeah.
That they, originally it was, when it was known as the Usual,
Yeah.
Dennis Hendrickson acquired that as part of his licensed premises.
Was that the restaurant, little restaurant, fish restaurant they had there? Is that?
Yeah, and now it has the sign above it, La Terraza.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
That place now has
Sorrento.
advertisement on the glass window that is a new pizzeria or pizza shop going in there.
All right,
Okay.
yeah.
Is same people operating it, or are they gonna sub?
You can't have two licensees at one location, Mr. Chairman.
No, but I mean,
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, get a letter to him.
get a letter to them. Okay, yep.
And last but not least, Mr. Chairman, you have a communication from the city manager to do with license fees.
Maybe break down on that, Ryan? Yeah.
I included that with your package of papers. You, is that what you, yeah, that communication?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there, okay. Anybody have any problem with it? I think the largest,
Based on Ryan's recommendations, I guess.
No, I don't wish to take credit for anything, Mr. Chairman.
How do we go about doing it? Just a regular meeting, or? I mean, it's
Well,
been
you
since
can-
1986 since there's been an increase, so.
yeah, and I don't think there's $250, the largest one's 500, would be the hotel. And then the rest of them average at 250 over, and it was, what'd you say, 85?
I think it was early 80s, wasn't it?
Early 80s.
Okay, do you wish to go through them one by one to make it known? The situation is, you don't necessarily have to be uniform in your rising rate, anything to do with increase in fees or setting of fees, doesn't have to be uniform. So, for example, the city's hotel liquor licensees, there are two of them.
Yeah.
Presently, their annual license fee for the alcohol beverages is $3,500. On the column to the right of that list is a proposed of $4,000, which would be an incremental increase of $500. As I recall, that hotel liquor license, there was a fee increase in 1992 of $500 for hotels and for clubs.
In 92.
In 92 for the hotels and the clubs.
So,
So
10
originally, hotel license fee was $3,000, went to $3,500 in 1992. The club originally was $2,500, and it went to $3,000 in 1992. The club now is proposed for the club $3,250. The proposal for the hotel is $4,000. The other matter to do with restaurant is presently $2,500. Now, restaurant would include all of our licensed establishments to do with bars, restaurants that have a license for common victular for all alcoholic beverages. They presently pay annual license fee of $2,500. It's proposed that that increase be $2,750, an increment of $250. The club special license is not really applicable to the city of Lowell, is not applicable, in fact, in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Club special was defined by statute or by regulation that never really took hold and is not by state law, where a club, a Chapter 180 organization, would be open to the public to serve food. But the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission does not recognize that, so I would respectfully suggest to you not to consider that matter at all. It's not really applicable to the city. Much like we do not have what is called general on-premise license either in the city of Lowell, GOP as they refer to it, where there is no common victular license, where it's strictly a license to serve and sell alcohol beverages for consumption only. That doesn't apply to the city of Lowell. The retail package store for all alcoholic beverages presently is $2,000, proposed $2,225. The last increase, I believe, was in the vicinity of 1986, 1988, where the increment might have gone up from approximately $500 at that time. Tavern license, there is a fee of $1,500, but there are no licensees for tavern. A tavern by statute is defined as someone who is not open on Sundays and generally will close at 1 p.m., 1 a.m., excuse me, and will not be open after 12 midnight on Saturdays. but that fee would go up to $17.50. Now the question of special one-day licenses for all alcoholic beverages. For an event that takes place for 2 hours or greater, it's $100. Presently, it's proposed to go up to $125. That same type license where the event is 2 hours or less, presently is $50. It's proposed that go to $75. A duplicate license generally is, I've not really exercised that option because somebody who's misplaced their annual license usually it's just a matter of just providing them with a new one. It's,
Ryan, without making you go through all these.
Okay.
Are any of them, have any of them been adjusted in the last 5 years?
No, none.
And all of the adjustments here are $500 or less. Actually, most of them are a lot less than that. The only $500 one is the hotel, correct?
That's right. No, we're just discussing the matter to do with alcohol beverages. For everything else is basically set in stone as far as by statute. For example, you're dealing with used car dealers, as much as one might consider going up beyond $200, but statutes by Chapter 140 of the general laws specifically states $200, in which we adjusted that last year. The city council, by way of statute, adjusted the annual license fee for common victular, which had been $50, is now moved to $75. A club in the city of Lowell does not have a common victular license, does not have an entertainment license, because it's for the members and their guests.
Many guests.
Many guests.
So what's the process we go to formalize it?
The board is in position now on an annual renewal period to adjust fees. You do not need to notify the licensees of a public hearing to have them come before you to speak to you on this. You do not. You do not. There's no reason you have to do that. I mean, you could as a courtesy, but you're not obliged to do that.
Well, I think they're pretty small adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been, some of them a decade, 15 years. I make a motion to recommend the increases in the licenses, proposed fees.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes. And what do we, with the renewal stuff, we'll just send them a little note?
They'll be thankful to me, I'm sure. But I will send them a written notice, hopefully get that out tomorrow in the mail.
Sign Waller's name.
Tell them that the chairman of the License Commission was more than happy to.
You guys are gonna blame somebody, don't you? What about, do we, somebody who files late, the city's looking, the thing that bothers me is the city's looking to raise money. There are people that, are traditionally right there to pay their license, there's no hassle, What about ones that you're chasing? Why aren't we building into the licensing structure some kind of a penalty to resolve this issue of all the work that has to be done to chase these people that don't renew their license yet, they still want it? Like, say $50 a month, every month you're late.
Because they can't open anyway.
I would think this,
Chuck E. Cheese is operating right now.
Yeah, it's a manager, though.
License them. They renew their license, they just don't come in with the change of the manager, right?
In other words, you would have to, that would be a separate matter to deal with them. I mean, you can discipline them by taking their license.
Chuck E. Cheese, are you kidding?
Well-
It's un-American.
But that's not, it's not unlike the club, and in fact, we have the gentleman that was here for the Elks Club just a few minutes ago.
Yep.
He's acting as the manager in his mind's eye. He thinks he's the manager for the day-to-day operation, but in fact, he has no standing. The gentleman that is known to be the manager of record that has standing before you will not honor his obligation. Where, you're frustrated from his being obstinate on the process, on the matter, and you can penalize the club by suspending their liquor license.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. That's un-American too, right? All right. Anything else? I just think myself, I know the work you put into chasing these. And to me, that's the frustration of it, is that, you know, the ones that you know are gonna want that license, now you gotta write to the company and say, you gotta get somebody in here, you gotta get in. And the taxpayers pay for all that stuff. And that's where we go wrong. We don't make the people.
He's happy to do it, Mr. Chairman.
Is he really? He doesn't look so happy.
But also, just going back to your original question, I think the answer is, if they don't pay for the renewal, they don't have a license.
Right.
And that's the penalty, is that if they're serving, they're at risk, they're gonna lose out on that money, and then they have to pay the money. I mean, the simple remedy is, don't pay by whatever date, you don't have a license.
Yeah.
That's all.
Non-renewed, and then they have a world of problems to deal with.
That's all well and fine, except that you end up with the fact of, then whose responsibility is it? It's the police department that's burdened with, okay, you know, today's the last day you can file your renewal. Ryan calls him up and says, 1201, these are all the places that don't have a liquor license.
That seems to, that hasn't been as big a problem as it has in the past, it doesn't seem to me, or is it?
We'd be surprised, you would be, if I told you the truth,
I don't
what
wanna
I
hear
had to
that.
do to get some
I know.
people in.
That's what I'm saying.
You'd be
It just
surprised.
doesn't, you know,
all right.
it's like, this is one of the things that frustrates me to no end. The state of Massachusetts licenses me as a funeral director and embalmer. About 5 years ago, they got so many rubber checks from funeral directors that now I can't send them a funeral home check. I have to send them a certified check. So what did they do? They penalized everybody that played by the rules, instead of saying, you know, if your check bounces, it costs you double.
Those, you certainly could implement whatever rules you want, but
I know.
I would just, again, suggest
And
that,
that-
look,
that
if
just
someone
rubs me
doesn't
the
pay,
wrong way.
take their
This is a-
license, and
This is your livelihood.
everyone will fall into line.
And this guy's down in the office taking all this crap from these people, and they're the ones that don't come in the door and pay right away.
This meeting will be repeated on Saturday and Sunday.
And am I surprised that funeral directors' checks are bouncing?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Good night, Benjamin.